Bongo Ben here, living the dream. I'm camping out on a friend's field, not costing me a penny. Fantastic. Now, whilst I'm out here, I figure I've got the perfect opportunity to just make a quick video and talk about the 10 most scenic places that I have been to in the camper van on road trips in Great Britain and the Republic of Ireland. Let's crack on with it, people. So the old Man of Storr on the Isle of Skye, one of the most scenic landscapes in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. The car park there was free when I went, so it was a good free day. Walking around there is nice. I mean, you can spend all day walking around there and it is just amazing. The rock formations were formed by the biggest landslide in Britain and they're just out of this world. I'd strongly recommend it. If you haven't been, it is an absolute must in Scotland. Yeah, phenomenal place. So Durness in Scotland. Durness, I love Durness. I always stop in Durness. Nice little village. It's got some amazing beaches. It's right far north, right next to Cape Wrath. And the beaches there are fantastic. It also has Smough Cave, which is an amazing cave to walk around. You can go in Smough Cave for free when I went. And you can do a little boat trip in there, which was like £4 or something. Now this was a while ago. And it was quite enjoyable. You know, it was only a small little trip, but I really enjoyed it. Right next to the campsite, right where the village is, there's some little fantastic beaches. And then if you go further towards the Kyle of Durness, there's a beach there, which is just amazing. Absolutely love it. So yeah, well worth a visit. Croagh in the Republic of Ireland. Absolutely fantastic mountain to climb, very steep, and there's just rubble. You're climbing up rubble. It's tricky, but when you get to the top and you can look out over Cornwall Bay, it's amazing. There's said to be, they say there's 365 islands in Cornwall Bay. No, there's not. On record, I think there's 100 and something, 136, something like that. But it's an amazing place, amazing views. Strongly recommend it if you're in Ireland. 25,000 people climb it on Reek Sunday, so make sure you avoid that day. About 1 million people climb it every year because it's like a pilgrimage. Some people climb it barefoot. I mean, you know, that ain't for me. If you see it and you see the rocks you're climbing on, not a chance. I don't understand why. It's because St. Patrick climbed it barefoot, but I'm not a religious man, so there's no way I would be doing that, and I wouldn't recommend it. So the gap at Dunloe in Ireland is just fantastic. I had such a good time there. That was such a lovely place, and it's like a valley in between two mountain ranges, 5 lakes linked up by a river, crystal clear water. You can see the trout on the lakes. Oh, it was amazing, absolutely fantastic. Technically you can drive through the valley, but they don't like you to. You wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want to rush it. I parked up in a pay and display car park and walked through it, and it was just amazing. You can, if you don't want to walk it, you can get horse rides out there, horse and trailer, whatever you call them, and you can sit on the back there and they will take you up and down. I don't know how much, I didn't do it, but wow, what a scenic place, absolutely phenomenal. I think that was my favourite part of Ireland. I absolutely loved it. Now the next one's my favourite spot in England. It's in Cornwall. Now I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong. I'll write it on the screen, but if you read it, you'll probably pronounce it wrong in your head as well, because it's not read out the way it is spelt. But it's Pendy Vounder. It is a beach right near Porthcurno, so we'll class them as the same area. Now the beach is amazing. It's been known as the British Caribbean. It's just phenomenal. It's the best beach I've been to in England with a long shot. Absolutely mind-blowing. And the brilliant thing about it, well, brilliant for me, bad for some others, the climb down is very hard, very steep, very dangerous. So a lot of the time there won't be many people on the beach. Now weekends and high season there will, but other than that there will not. It is a bit of a nudist beach because kids generally can't get to the beach, so the locals do use it as a nudist beach, but you know, you just have to ignore that. You can get to it by a car park in the village of Treen. I don't know what the charges are. Right next to it, if you can't make it down to there, right next to it you've got Porthcurno. Porthcurno in itself is just absolutely fantastic. And if you go to Porthcurno Beach, you can see the same cliff line that you can see from Treen, from Pendyvounder. It's still, you know, you can see all that in the background, so there's not a lot in it with them two, but Pendy is my favourite because there's less people on it. So Porthcurno, if you can't get down, is just as good. Absolutely fantastic. They've both got blue water, you know, white sand. Absolutely phenomenal. The sand is coral. If you look closely, that's all little bits of coral. That's great. Yeah, fantastic places. Also, just nearby, you've got loads of other little nice beaches like Penberth Cove. You've also got Porth Chapel. That's not very busy because it's hard to get to. Nam Jizzle, that's a fantastic little beach. Won't be many people there because you have to walk the coastal path to get to it. So that's another majorly decent spot right in that little area. Absolutely fantastic. So the fairy pools on the Isle of Skye, they were formed between 50 and 70 million years ago. There's little waterfalls flowing into little pools. Very nice, very tranquil, lovely clear water. When I went at the end of the evening. I actually slept on the car park there, and there wasn't many people about. Now apparently it gets very busy in the daytime, and recently I heard somewhere that the car park you now have to pay. So whether or not you can stay on that car park overnight like I did, I do not know. But it was an amazing place. Later in the evening when there wasn't many people there, it was great. But be warned, it does get absolutely packed with people. So bear that in mind. Well worth visiting though. So Sandwood Bay in Scotland, fantastic. Right up far north, right against Cape Wrath. It is the most unspoiled beach on mainland Britain. And there is a reason. It's because it's 4 miles from the nearest car park. It is isolated, it is fantastic. The beach itself is a mile long, and you have to be careful for midgies because you'll get bit on the way there. Obviously a 4-mile walk is a bit of a walk, but it will be deserted and it will be fantastic. Now when I went, the car park was free. I don't know whether that still will be, but definitely on the list, Sandwood Bay, Scotland. So the Giant's Causeway has got to be on anyone's list who's going to Ireland. Situated in Northern Ireland, fantastic place. Always wanted to go there ever since I was a little kid, and I first saw a picture of it. I thought I want to go there, and I did, and well worth it. Loads of them columns created by the volcano. I think the tallest one was about 12 meters. One thing to bear in mind, the National Trust will try and charge you for going in there. Now it's a public beach, you don't have to pay. If you want to go into their little area where they've got their exhibition, then you have to pay. But you do not have to pay to enter the beach. It is a public beach. So when you go there, if you go there, ignore the people trying to get your money. Unless you want to go and look at their exhibition, you do not need to pay to go to the beach. I had some fantastic times there. Fantastic. Drinking some whiskey, watching the sunset. So the Isle of Staffa. I mean, I think that's one of my favourite places I've ever been. It was phenomenal. Really amazing. It's in Scotland. You have to get to the Isle of Mull, then you have to get from the Isle of Mull onto another boat, take you out for the day, but wow, incredible. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. You got Fingal's Cave. That's a cave with the columns, just like at Giant's Causeway, but they're in a cave. You know, they're below you and they're above you. You look up and there's the hexagonal columns above you. I mean, it was just phenomenal. There's puffins on the island as well. Yeah, Isle of Staffa, 100% fantastic. I'll be honest, I'd always wanted to go to the Giant's Causeway, and then I went to the Giant's Causeway after I'd been to the Isle of Staffa, and I wasn't overly impressed as much as I thought I would be, and I think it was because I preferred the Isle of Staffa. So on the way back from the Isle of Staffa, I had the option of stopping off at the Isle of Iona, and wow, that was incredible. That was amazing. The beaches, I mean, they're phenomenal. White sand, blue water. I went into the shop and I said to the lady, which direction would you go for the best beaches? She said, do you want sandy or rocky? I said, sandy. She said, head north. And then she go, when the sun come out, that's like being in the Caribbean. And then of course the other worker laughed and went, oh yeah, when the sun comes out. And I walked along that beach, the sun came out, and it was like being on the Caribbean. It was fantastic. A lot of history to Iona as well. I think it was the birthplace of, let me just check, I have to have notes because I'm a bit of a moron. 3 miles by 1 mile. 48 Scottish kings were buried on Iona. It was a pilgrimage. Christians, the first Christians settled in Iona and then tried to spread the word of Christianity. I'm not really into religion, but yeah, absolutely amazing place. Iona, wow, mind blowing. So I haven't really done much of Wales. I have done Snowdonia and climbed Mount Snowdon, and it was fantastic at the bottom. However, there was a really bad storm when I was climbing it, and there was no view from the top, nothing to see. Right, so obviously I can't cover everywhere. That is amazing. If anyone feels that there's a better place out there that I've missed, then please let me know, because I'll put it on the list of places to go. Now, I do really want to get to the Isle of Lewis and the Isle of Harris. I do think them beaches are going to be mind-blowing, so that is on the list. If anyone else has any suggestions, then yeah, let me know. Now, there are loads of scenic places well worth visiting around the UK. These are just the ones I'm recommending. There's hundreds of others out there. You just gotta get out there and see them.